Alright, in this video we are going to simplify some complex expressions that have these imaginary terms in them, including this one, and we will do one of these. Well, if you have a negative sign in front of parentheses, you should treat that like a -1 and distribute that -1. So -1 times 3 is -3. -1 times 2i is -2i. So now I have distributed that. So I'm going to bring down the 4, and I will bring down my 8i. At that point, it's time to combine like terms. So 4 minus 3 is 1. -2i plus 8i is 6i. So that leaves us with 1 plus 6i. So that's the answer to number 15. Now, number 16 is a little bit more involved. You need to get I out of the denominator. So to do that, we're going to multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. And what that means is, if you have 3 plus I, the conjugate will be 3 minus I. And you have to do the same thing in the numerator, so another 3 minus I. So if I take this 3 plus I, 3 minus I, and I multiply them together, I am going to do the distributive property twice. So I'm going to do 3 times everything, so 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times -I is -3i. And then I will distribute this I. I times 3 is positive 3i. Positive I times -I is -I squared. Okay, now these are going to cancel each other out. If you think of this as -1i squared, it's easier for you to remember that since I squared is -1, okay, -1 times -1 is a positive 1. So I'm going to wind up having +1 because of the I squared. So notice I have no more i's here. So this -I squared becomes +1. So if I bring down my 9, that's 9 plus 1 is 10. So my denominator is 10. Now, meanwhile, in the numerator, I just do the distributive property. So -2 times 3 is -6, and -2 times -I is positive 2i. All that's left is to separate this and reduce. So when you have imaginary numbers involved, then you need to write it in standard form, which means take this 10 and put it underneath each term. So I will have -6 over 10 plus 2 over 10i. Both of these reduce, so this will reduce down to -3/5, and this will be +1/5 I. So that would be your answer to number 16.